Israeli troops have withdrawn from the eastern half of Gaza to where they now maintain positions. They've launched several heavy airstrikes against what they say are Hamas fighters opening fire. An earthquake with a magnitude of 5.5 has jolted the Bangladeshi capital Dhaka and its surrounding areas, killing at least 6 people. More than 100 people have been injured. BBC News.
Hello, I'm Faisal Islam, the BBC's economics editor, and this is The Interview from the BBC World Service, the best conversations coming out of the BBC, people shaping our world from all over the world.
I'm disappointed in him. He had a deal done 4 times, and then you go home and you see just attack a nursing home in Kiev. I said, what the hell was that all about?
I was still in an induced coma in hospital when the world was defining me, but I was still 15 years old and I did not know who I was.
I love singing, and so my goal was always to do better and better at it.
Today we are spending trillions on war and peanuts on peace.
For this interview, I met Sundar Pichai, boss of Google, at the tech giant's headquarters in California. He is the chief executive of Alphabet, holding company for Google and other subsidiaries, which sits at the forefront of the AI revolution, a technology he describes as the most profound that humanity has ever worked on, that will change how we live and work. But he also acknowledges the risks that come with artificial intelligence. Some AI models are still prone to errors, he warns, and should not be blindly trusted. There is the impact on jobs, but also on the climate, thanks to AI's immense energy needs. Mr. Pichai admits Alphabet's progress towards its target of achieving net zero by 2030 has slowed, but the goal remains in place. The tech industry, he tells me, is at an extraordinary moment, with trillions being invested in artificial intelligence. Alphabet shares have doubled in value in recent months, reaching $3.5 trillion earlier this month. But Sundar Pichai warns no company, not even his, would be immune if the bubble were to burst.
I look at the actual progress we are making in terms of the model capabilities, and the progress is palpably exciting. And given the potential of this technology, the excitement is very rational. It's also true when we go through these investment cycles, there are moments we overshoot, right, collectively as an industry. We can look back at the internet right now. There was clearly a lot of excess investment, but none of us would question whether the internet was profound or did it drive a lot of impact. It's fundamentally changed how we work digitally as a society. I expect AI to be the same. So I think it's both rational, and there are elements of irrationality through a moment like this.
Welcome to The Interview from the BBC World Service with Sundar Pichai.
Well, it's an extraordinary moment even by Silicon Valley standards. Every decade or so, you have this inflection points. You have a new technology. It was the personal computer at one point, the internet coming in the late 90s. Then it was mobile. Then it's been cloud, what we call as cloud. Now it's clearly the era of AI.
And can you give us a sense of the scale? Clearly, the metric that people kind of go to is the market cap, these extraordinary numbers for you, 3.5 trillion, NVIDIA at 5 trillion, the sheer amount of investment going in. Give us a sense of scale.
One way to think about the scale is what we are all investing in capital to build out the infrastructure that's needed for artificial intelligence. Maybe 4 years ago, Google was spending less than $30 billion per year. This year, that number is going to be over $90 billion. If you collectively add what all the companies are doing, we have well over $1 trillion of investment going in building the infrastructure for this moment. And one way I think about it is in the next couple of years, we'll end up building what we probably built in the past 10 to 20 years. So that gives you the scale at which this is ramping up.
Now, you mentioned some of those phases of technological advancement that happened with much market excitement as well. And the obvious question is around the whole of this country and the whole of the world right now is it a bubble?
Look, the two ways of thinking about the question. I look at the actual progress we are making in terms of the model capabilities, and the progress is palpably exciting, and people are using this. We are deploying it in our products. Consumers are excited about using it. We are giving it to companies. They are using it to make their companies better. So you see real demand, and we are constrained in our ability to serve that demand. And given the potential of this technology, the excitement is very rational. It's also true when we go through these investment cycles, there are moments we overshoot, right, collectively as an industry. We can look back at the internet right now. There was clearly a lot of excess investment, but none of us would question whether the internet was profound or did it drive a lot of impact. It's fundamentally changed how we work digitally as a society. I expect AI to be the same. So I think it's both rational, and there are elements of irrationality through a moment like this.
You just described your excitement about how Google's kind of hardware, which is the key scarce resource. I guess, would your argument be, I guess it would be, that whatever happens, whatever appears to be a frothy, exotic deal from one of your competitors, Google will be immune from any bursting of the bubble because of your spectrum of investments across all technologies?
No company is going to be immune, including us. If you overinvest, we'll have to work through that phase. But, we are, I think we are better positioned. For many years, we have taken a deeply differentiated approach to how we have approached AI. One of the first things I did as CEO was to shift the company to what I called as an AI-first approach. And part of that was doing all the parts of what it takes to build great AI technology. So we call it a full stack approach. You can think of it as a soup to nuts approach, all the way from the underlying physical infrastructure to the research that you need to do to drive this technology forward, to deploying it in products and platforms, be it search, be it in YouTube, be it in Android, and so on, right? And so we have taken the deep approach. So we are able to invest at scale and make it work across all these products and businesses. And I think so we are better positioned to take a long-term view and approach this moment.
Let's take that, and then let's try and sum up, if you like, the ultimate power of the tools you have built for people at home. How effective could it be? Could an AI agent do your job at some point?
Look, I think where we are is right now, you can interact with this AI, ask questions, go back and forth, and have these intelligent exchanges on many, many topics. I think the next step in the next 12 months, you will see they are able to do more complex tasks for you. So that's where it gets really interesting. I have to go shop something, I have to buy a birthday gift for my spouse, and, can I ask this chatbot to go do that, right? So that kind of what we call agentic experiences is what we are all excited about. Down the line, that means there are moments it can help you make a decision, right? Like, it could be, should I invest in this stock? Or my doctor is recommending a treatment, and how should I think about the pros and cons of the treatment? So those are all real, tangible use cases. There is still work to be done to unlock those capabilities, but that's the journey which has been so exciting to see.
Okay, so still CEOs are safe in their jobs.
I think what a CEO does is maybe one of the easier things to maybe for AI to do one day.
But the whole point of the value and productivity kind of offer to companies that are buying all your goods and your services is to automate many human tasks, is it not?
Let me put it this way, right? I think people today are juggling many things, right? And people are overloaded. We've always had, back in the history, it could be a dishwasher coming to your home. I remember growing up, when we got our first refrigerator in the home, how much it radically changed my mom's life. You can view it as it automating some, but it freed her up to do other things, right? So let's take an example of a radiologist. The number of scans people are getting is growing year on year. And the number of images per scan is also rising pretty significantly. How do you help a radiologist cope up with this increased demand? Maybe an AI tool can help that way. So I think that's what you will see more or less.
I get it. You want to focus on the win-wins, but it's many people, many aspirational middle classes across the West are thinking, hang on a minute.